Thank you. I'm speechless. Just to see all of the different characters that were portrayed on this evening. An awesome performance by Dael. Awesome performance by her. And she gave me 3 different titles, and they're true. But I want to speak to you tonight from responding to the things I heard on tonight. One, as a parent. One, as a person who grew up in the city of Milwaukee. And the third, currently working in the city of Milwaukee, doing community work. Growing up in the city of Milwaukee, I come from a family of 9 children. We grew up in the projects, hillside projects here in Milwaukee. And thinking about the time that I grew up till now, how much Milwaukee has changed. Thinking about coming from a family of 9 and some of the friends I had as a child, I have those friends now. We would get into scrapes and fights, and we'd be mad at each other. And it may be just a few days or a week, but we could come back together and be friends again. That doesn't happen anymore, it appears. But also growing up in Milwaukee, getting married and raising, I have 3 children, 1 son. And as I think about Michael Brown, and you never know what any given day is going to bring, but I take on the role of a mother, and your child leaves to go to school or to work or to go hang out with their friends, and you anticipate them coming back home. But raising a son, and my son is now 40, but I can remember telling him whenever he would leave, if you get stopped by the police, don't move. Don't move your hands. Don't say anything. Do what you're told to do. Because I wanted him to come back home, and he's 40. And we're experiencing a lot of that today. And so when I see the different characters that she portrayed, and some of you may have found yourself or your family or your friends in some of those characters. What do we do? What do we say? How do we change our behavior today so that we don't have more Michael Browns, or we don't have more Seville Smiths, or we don't have more Dante Hamiltons? And I know there are people in the audience tonight who probably cried during some parts of this. It was a portrayal tonight, but it's reality. We hear about so much of this today. And so I challenge us, if you found yourself in any one of those characters, what are you going to do to change what you will do tomorrow? What will you do to help change someone you know? As you look at this platform, and I heard earlier, this is a replication of what was actually laid out in Ferguson after the Michael Brown. How many of us drive through the streets of Milwaukee and see memorials like this? As she said, I work for Children's Hospital, and we have the awesome responsibility to treat any child that is the victim of a gunshot wound or knife or beatings. And so I talked with some of my colleagues and learned that last year we had 9 children to die in the city of Milwaukee due to gun violence. That's 1 too many. We don't think about those numbers because we may hear them sporadically, if we hear them at all. A lot of people now turn the news off. They don't want to hear it. So we have to do better. What can we, each one of us, do to make a difference in our community? Yes, it's about race. Yes, it's about economics. It's poor versus rich. If you are well off, as you heard in the play, white, clear, no, clean, pure, white. And if that's what's right, then what happens with black? And I want to close, and I got my signal, with an experience that I had in the city myself. And I've been here all of my life, over 60 years. 2 weeks ago, and I knew I was going to be doing this, but I had no idea that I would experience firsthand gun violence in this city. And I said that I'd do community work with children's, and I happened to be in the community going for an appointment. And I was standing outside waiting to get into a building. And the person that I was about to meet was late. And I called my secretary and I said, "Are you sure this appointment is confirmed?" She said, "Yes." And as I was on the phone with her, I heard 6 gunshots, rapid, very near. And I panicked. I said, "I gotta get to my car. I gotta get to my car. I don't know what this is, but I know it's gunshots." And when I got to my car and about to get in, looking straight ahead, I could see a car, and I could see on the ground a man laying. He was not moving. And I got in my car, I said, "I gotta call 911. And while I was on the phone, the vehicle that I saw came around the corner and stopped directly across from me. And I panicked because I didn't know if they saw me and what they would do. And I went to, the car hadn't even turned on yet. And I turned the car on to take off. And as I took off, they took off. But within minutes, I found out the person had been killed. And what hurt me, as I said, as a parent, yes, the man was killed. He was 31 years old. He was married with a 10-year-old child. And I thought about, before I knew all of that somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's dad, husband. And so as we think about what we can do to make a difference in our community, we can talk, and we can talk, but we have to take action in whatever space we're in to try and make a difference. And as I think about today, the 19th anniversary of Columbine, and I saw on the news today where our youth are rising up and saying, "Never again, and am I next?" And my answer is, I hope not. Thank you.